Hello everyone, this is Arlene with Design with Arlene. I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. This is where I make video tutorials of mostly cards with stamping, paper crafting. I sprinkle in a little bit of some 3D projects and some scrapbook pages too once in a while. So for today's project, I wanted to show you the stamp set that I'm using. But before I start in with that and the products that I'm using, I wanted to give a big thank you to all of you who are my new subscribers and my existing subscribers. I appreciate all of those and the likes, of course, and the comments. We love to hear from you. I say we because my kids kind of help out too. So they're kind of the background of us. So they always like to see that as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'll show you the stamp set that I'm using. This is a stamp set that is in the new catalog that starts out May 4th. So I'm filming this May 3rd. I'm hoping to get this up tonight, but if I don't, it will be at least by tomorrow, which is when the release of the new catalog is out. If you have already previewed a catalog, this is on page 69. This comes in a bundle, or you can purchase it separately. So this is the Elegantly Said stamp set. It's a set of 11. It is in the cling stamp set and not the photopolymer. And then it also is bundled together with the Elegant Tag Punch. You can purchase these separately, but when you purchase them together, you do get a savings of 10%. So let me show you the rest of the products that you will need to put this card together. So I'm using Basic Gray as my card base. So this is just a half of a sheet of an 8.5 by 11, which I cut in half and then scored and folded down the middle. And then I have a smaller piece of Basic Gray that is going to be layered on top. And then I also have a piece of, well, actually two pieces. This is two pieces of the Elegantly Said Designer Series paper. I'm still learning that right, so I will post it which one is the correct way to say it. Okay, this I just checked. It's Simply Elegant Designer Series paper. So I have two pieces of this. The really fun part of this is it's specialty because it has, you can see like a basic gray background. This is the color that it coordinates well with, kind of very vanilla. But on the flip side, look at this. See if this camera captures it. It's the foiling on it. So each of these sides is going to have a side without it, with just the color or design, and then a side that does have the foiling with it. In addition to that, out of Very Vanilla, I have stamped with the Elegant label punch. So I've got one of these cut out already. All right, let's go ahead and put this card together. All right, I have two ink pads that I'm using. This is the Basic Gray, and then I also have the Crushed Curry. So with the Crushed Curry, I'm taking one of the flower stamps from the stamp set, which is this stamp right here, and I'm going to ink it up in Crushed Curry, but I also don't want all of that ink going onto my label punch. So I'm going to stamp it off on a scrap piece of paper, actually twice. Okay, so it's got a really just a little bit of amount of ink on it left, and then I'm just going to take a little spritzer. I just fill this up with some water, and I'm going to squirt about 2 times. So I probably want to have, maybe 3 to 4 inches away from my stamp. I'm going to do this away from my surface because then it'll get all wet. We don't want that. So I'm going to do 2 squirts, and you'll see that it beaded up there. You've got lots of water to overspray. And then, because it doesn't have a lot of ink, it's just going to give a lighter image, but you will still definitely get to see. Okay. It's just a softer look, and it's a lighter image, which is just what I wanted. Now, if you were at home and you're doing this, I'd probably wait for it to dry. But since I'm on camera, I'm going to go ahead and get my other stamp on here. And this is going to be a sentiment stamp. This again from the same stamp set. All the things you do are simply amazing. And that, I'm going to stamp that in Basic Gray. Love this font. Just ink that up and then just stamp it directly over my flower that I've stamped in Crushed Curry. Okay, and we'll set that aside and we'll continue making our card. I'm going to start out with the rectangle piece of the Basic Gray. Now, all of the dimensions that I'm using are going to be posted on my blog. It will be posted on May 4th. So if this doesn't get posted on YouTube on May 3rd, just know that by tomorrow it will be posted on my blog. We just have to wait a day in order for you to, the products won't go on sale, and so I won't have the link for them until tomorrow. So I'm just going to I'm going to use these two pieces of paper. And what I want to do before I do anything else is I'm going to actually tear this. Now, if you've been stamping for a while, you probably remember this technique. So I'm just going to do a little bit of tearing here, super easy. And then I'm going to tear the other piece. So I'm lining it up because I'm going to actually be gluing it on to this rectangle piece of basic gray. And I'm going to make sure that I'm going to mark it kind of where I want to tear. I want to have a little piece of the actual base of this basic gray showing through. So let's tear this. Okay, so our cardstock, you can see, is white in the middle. You could actually leave that if you want to. I am going to step it up just a little bit, just because I think I'm on like a blending kick or something. I'm just having a lot of fun with these blending brushes. That's what it is. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple of different kinds of blending tools that we have and show you what you can do with them. So with the crushed curry, and I'm taking one of our blending brushes, and on my scrap piece of paper, I'm just going to get some ink onto my blending tool and then just brush around there, just in circles, a circular motion all the way around. You can do this as much or as little as you want, but I'm paying a specific attention to that torn edge there, you can see. So, okay, and see how quick, that was super fast, right? Super fast. Now I'm also going to take that white edge here and I just want to cover that up. So I'm doing the same thing with that crushed curry as well. A little bit of yellow here. And it's dark, so you really don't need to go on all of the edges, but if you want to, you certainly can. Okay. And I'm done with the crushed curry. And then next I'm going to do is take this basic gray ink, and now with a little sponge dauber, I'm going to ink the edges of the punch that I've punched out. The reason why I'm using this instead of the blending tool, the blending brush itself, is because I have a little bit more control and I can get into a smaller area. As you can see up here on the top, it is a little hard to reach into those little crevices there, but it is certainly easier to do, and you can probably of course have more control with a smaller blending tool like the dauber. Okay, so we'll set that aside. I'm going to close this up, and then we're going to go ahead and glue our two pieces of designer series paper onto that the sheet of the basic gray ink. Okay, so once we have that, our next step before we glue it onto our card base is I want to take some of this gold trim. Well, gold or silver, and I think I'm going to use silver this time. But this is the Simply Elegant trim. It does come in a 2-pack. It comes in gold and silver. And you know what? I think I'm going to do gold this time. So I'm just going to wrap it around a couple of times. And then tie it. First of all, I'm tying it in a knot. I'm going to trim it. Makes it easier for me. And I say this, I think, at every video, but you know I am not good at bows. So I'm going to tie it in a little knot first. And then I will tie my bow. All right, so we have that. That's right in the middle there, where we have that little excess, you know, we didn't quite have the two edges meet because we tore them. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the front of my card. Okay, so you have that so far. The next thing I'm going to do is add this fun little label punch. I'm taking some of Stampin' Dimensionals. Here they are. Here's my bigger Stampin' Dimensionals. We need those. These minis are perfect for small areas like the top of that punch. And place that right on the top of the card, to the right a little bit. And then of course it needs a little bit of bling, like always, right? Gotta love our bling. And I have some of these. This is the Simply, oh, that's the trim, sorry. These are the Silver and Clear Epoxy Essentials. And you can see that we have some, they're in different designs. So here are the silver, and they're a teardrop, and then a diamond shape, and then a circle. And we have the same over here. Let's see. Sometimes if I can put that on a darker piece with the, there it goes. Get a catch. So these are just clear, which are fun. So we are going to use the clear ones. One little teardrop. Place it right there at the bottom. These are going to be a little probably hard to see for the camera to pick it up, but I will close up, and they're so pretty, and they just very, very subtle embellishment. So if you don't want something that's, you know, really going to sparkle and shine, these are really pretty. These also would be beautiful as like little drops, you know, for on flowers, like dewdrops. They look almost like they have a wet look to them. So there is, if you can see there, I put 3 right here on the bottom. See if the light can catch it just right. Hopefully it will. There they go. There it is. And then you can see that. So easy to put together, quick, but the Simply Elegant Suite just really packs a punch for elegance if you want some kind of a card that's got a really very like a beautiful elegant touch to it. So there is the finished card for today, and then this is the stamp set that I used along with the tag as well. So remember, these do come in a bundle. On my blog, I will have everything, all the information and the products used and the dimensions for you too. So make sure to check that out. Starting May 4th, it will be available. Thanks everybody, and have a wonderful day. Bye.